You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. Here we got kind of a quick one because my opinion is not terribly deep or philosophical because neither was the man here, and I would like you to know your thoughts and opinions on former President Bill Clinton. What did you like about him? What did you not like about him? Did you think he was a decent president? So let's go through a couple angles here on President Bill Clinton. I did not like him. I do not think he was a good president. I think his presidency, not the fact that he got elected, but the success he had in his presidency was quite accidental. When you look back at him compared to an Obama or the left today, Clinton looks like a rank rightist. I mean, in terms of politics, Trump and him are identical. I mean, you go back to the 90s, Trump and Clinton would be on the same page. All right, they're to the left, the Democrats, because it's popular, but they'll do some underhanded dealing and wheeling and dealing and get some kind of business going on. About the one thing I could say about President Clinton is that he was not a rank socialist. His wife is, but Bill Clinton was not. Bill Clinton was a Democrat because it was popular to be a Democrat, and he would say whatever you wanted to, get people to vote for him. And stuff like that. You look at his career, just a rank, not even crusaderist, he just didn't want to work. He thought himself very fashionable. He thought himself entitled. A lot like Obama, I'm going to go do great things because I have wealth and privilege and connections. But there's a reason they called him Slick Willie. He was willing to tell you the lies. He could do, and you guys would believe him. People would believe him. I've never understood the charm of Bill Clinton. Now he's thin and sickly, but back then he was a portly, ugly man. He was not good looking. And there he is on City Hall playing his saxophone, and every girl just creamed their pants. I'm like, what? This guy? This guy? Like, you're getting all hot and bothered about this guy? He's no JFK. Look at him. Got a pug nose. He's ugly. I got that southern accent on. It was one of those guys. It's not the bad boy. It's the rarer case. The bad boy makes sense. Here's this ripped, tatted up dude. Looks like Jack Donovan. Gonna take your daughter's user, throw her away, and there ain't gonna be a damn. And girls are throwing themselves at him. That's the bad boy. This was like the pothead loser who, for whatever, you guys know that guy, he could still pull off the chicks, and you're looking at him like, this guy's a loser. He's pathetic. He's fat. He's out of shape. He has no job. He deals in dope. And maybe that's what it was. They're drug dealers, and that's why the girls liked him. But there was always that genuine loser. Like, there wasn't anything physique about him. That was the American... They just liked this loser. So in terms of policy, and getting back to that accidental presidency thing, Bill Clinton presided over the last, what I would consider by my standards, good economic times by all economic measures. Unemployment was very low. Our debt went down to 38% GDP. We're paying down the national debt. What else? GDP was growing, economy was booming. But these were things, as is always the case with all presidents. A lot of people, Obama was to blame for the Great Recession. Bush was to blame for this. Reagan was to blame for that. It's like, no, that's one person. And they can admittedly fuck up the works. But just as a president, I don't think is individually solely responsible for a recession. I also don't think a sole individual such as the president is solely responsible for an economic boom time. They can exacerbate it or shrink it, but they're not the ones responsible for it. And so what was the backdrop to President Clinton was the booming .com and telecommunications bubble. And so you had booming economic growth. The last time unemployment dropped below 4%, I think, was in the late 90s. What else? These capital gains, this artificial economy, it was throwing money into the treasury. The national debt was going down. But this had nothing to do with Bill Clinton. This is the Bill Clinton, I play the saxophone, and that's how, and remember, Al Gore invented the internet. Remember that fucking moron? And then, a lot of people say he was a very conservative president. No, you had Newt Gingrich and the Republicans in Congress They wanted to pass Hillary Care. You guys don't remember that, but before Obamacare was Hillary Care. Here comes this fucking broad, typical fucking controlling Nazi wife. I mean, my nose in politics. It's like, you were elected, you stupid bitch. Go the fuck away. And here she is thinking like, well, I wasn't elected, but I'm the first wife and I'm Hillary Clinton, so I'm going to get nationalized health care. And she tried to do Hillary Care. That got rebuked by the American people. And then Newt Gingrich and a very conservative Republican Congress came and took over the House, dominated. And they did what the forefathers wanted and basically keep the government at gridlock. So Bill Clinton, they had aims to basically socialize 15% of the economy. But it didn't happen because the Republicans and Newt Gingrich were there. So de facto or effectively, Bill Clinton was very conservative. Government revenues and expenditures, which I use as the tax rate, as a percent of GDP, went down because they prevented a massive amount of spending coming in. The economy was booming, so your denominator, GDP, was going up. Unemployment, but again, that's because of the interwebs coming on. The first dot-com bubble before the FANGs came around. And so if you look historically at Bill Clinton's performance on paper, it looks great. Economic growth is booming, taxes are relatively low, debt's going down. It was wonderful, but he didn't do that. That wasn't him. That was the economy and circumstances he happened to be elected into. Just as I would say Obama, in intellectual honesty, he did inherit a recession. So did George Bush. These are not necessarily their fault. These things were well. You know whose fault it is for sending the economy into recession and booming economic times? You people, the American people. You either work hard or you don't. You invest wisely or you don't. You guys are the one that causes economies to grow and recede. So then you got to look at the guy and what he wanted to do, and he was your standard Democrat. Let's just move the ball a little bit left, move the ball a little bit over to his window, a little bit left. His wife really wanted to move it left. Oh God, did we dodge a bullet with her? But he was just sleaze, and anybody who had their head out of their ass could see it. But it was kind of a reminder. You can't fault Bill Clinton. You cannot fault him at all for doing what he did, because one thing Bill Clinton was smart about is he knew people were sheep. He knew how to play people. He knew how to, he has the psychology of people figured out. And he just knew how to play that. And here's this pot-smoking dopehead who lives at home with his parents. I'll play a saxophone for you, baby. Oh my God, Bill, I'm over you. Bill, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then the least of his moral qualms is, okay, he had fun with an intern who was banging a bunch of other broads. God, if you were married to Hillary, wouldn't you? And what's really funny to look at Bill Clinton is with today's Me Too movement 20 years later, where everything is rape and sexual assault, and you got Hillary in the middle. Was your husband using a position of power to take advantage? We'll go after Brett Kavanaugh for something that didn't happen 36 years ago. But man, are they real quiet about Bill Clinton banging chicks and interns. And then in that regard, I can have a little respect for the guy because he's a Machiavellian. He's a well-behaved hedonist. He had a grand old life. He had Hillary by her balls, or veritable balls that probably do exist. And he could, okay, we're married, whatever, baby. I'm gonna go over here. Hi, I'm Bill Clinton. Would you like to suck my penis? All right. Yeah, and now it's a generation later. The millennials came on board, and they make Bill Clinton look like Ronald fucking Reagan by what he did effectively, not what he wanted to do. So no, I don't like Bill Clinton. I don't have any respect for him, but then again, I have very little respect for any politicians. I'm glad he was handcuffed into not doing anything and just kind of being a sit there, do nothing president. but personality-wise, yeah, I don't like him, but you got to respect him at the same time for pulling off what he did. Just as you would that guy who has, visually you look at him, this guy has no game. This guy offers nothing to women, but he still pulls off the women. Like, how does he do it? So for his ability to lie and charm the American people, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he's just your standard scumbag politician. That's all he was. And he's going to the bank laughing because he had a grand old life, didn't have to work a real day in his life, and he had to fuck Hillary a couple times. I guess that's the punishment. The wages of sin is fucking Hillary Clinton. So, all right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see y'all later. Toodles.